I'll be recording. All right, so you get your spreadsheet open, or Amanda's if you want to borrow Amanda's spreadsheet, but you don't have access to it. And I'm going to minimize that. And then if you look in your drive, I've just shared this with everybody else. Let me go back to my drive. In mine, you can go to shared with me, but in mine I've got this Rhino stuff folder, and inside that there's diddly bows. And then I put staple holes. So let's say you want to use the staples. If you want to use the staples, then these are the size holes that I used when I made that example up there. Java wants to update about every 10 minutes. Okay, Rhino takes a little while to open. So when I get to Rhino, what I'm going to be doing is using the copy function to copy these staple holes at different distances along some sort of a board. And the first thing I'm going to do, I guess, is make a board. All right, so here I am in Rhino. Clicking out of top view. I can't really see anything except these hardly even show up. They're tiny little things. If you would like, I can make some boxes instead that are this size, so you can see them a little bit better. But actually, it's probably best just to keep it like this, because if it's boxes, then you have to make it two-dimensional again. So I'll undo the box. All right. So the first thing to think about is the fingerboard. How long is it going to be? Like on my instrument, you can see I had it run from here to here. You can just decide how long you want that to be. If you're doing the all-out Rhino method, you're going to make a piece of plywood with little holes in it that you can cut right and put right on top of your existing fingerboard. So the way to do that is to use this rectangle tool and click, and then type in the width. I'm going to make mine 18 inches long. That's what you type first. And then I'm going to type that'd be the length. Now the width is going to be 1.5 inches. That's how wide these pieces of wood are. And it looks like it's not positioned right. So there are ways to position this carefully. If you want me to show you how to do it, I can, or you can just eyeball it. Actually, no, that would take too long. I can show you that later. So you can just eyeball it. It's kind of in the middle. That's as good as you'd be able to do if you're drilling anyway. And I'm going to move this so that these first two marks are right at the end of it. Or actually, I guess I could leave them there. This is going to be my nut. And I could make the nut at the end of the board, or I could make it here, and this is where I'd put some kind of a nail or something to hold the end of the string. Then I'm going to start moving them. So the way you move them, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we'll be able to see this. Shrink that up a little bit. Select them, and then you go up to Transform, Copy. And the way copy works is I can click anywhere on here. I don't have to click there. I can click here, and then I click over here, and there, and there, and there, and there, and it's copying them to all those places. But I'm just, as I did that, I'm not putting any numbers in. So I want to make this so I can see this, and I can see my spreadsheet at the same time. Except that is, yeah. What?
Go grab the top of the bar all the way to the top.
This bar?
And drag it like all the way far on the side.
Like this?
Yeah.
I don't want to. I want to see it though.
No, it'll pop up so they'll each split the screen. That's what I'm saying.
Like this?
Yeah. Now do the same thing with the other one.
Oh, thank you. That's really cool. All right, so back to this. I just kind of want to be able to see both windows at once. Although I don't really need to see as much of the spreadsheet as I do of my Rhino part. So these are the numbers that I'm going to be going with over here. Actually, I need to type in my string length. So I would go to my instrument and I would measure the distance from the bridge to the nut. And I decided, how long did I say this thing was? How long did I make it? Just 18 inches. So let's just say that the distance to from my bridge to the nut was, so it wouldn't be 1 meter. I'll say it's about 2 feet, which is somewhere around 0.65. I'm just going to imagine it's 0.65. We'll put this in. And this is going to give me all new calculations of where my frets need to go. So these numbers, I'm just going to be typing in these numbers. You can decide how many decimal points you want. If you don't want to be overwhelmed and you want to just have a consistent column, highlight the column, click on the column, and go until you think you can handle type. That should be plenty, really, to the nearest 0.000. Oh, you know what? We got a problem here. What's the problem? Rhino's in inches. This is in meters. So I'm going to do same thing, but I'm going to do distance to the nut, or distance from the nut, and this is going to be this. What's the conversion? So if this were going from centimeters to inches, centimeters to inches, it would be, I would divide by 2.54. So if I just wanted to go from centimeters to inches, it'd be this divided by 2.54. That would give me inches. Well, if I started in centimeters, that would give me inches. But I'm not starting in centimeters, I'm starting in meters. So the first thing I need to do is to go from meters to centimeters. So I need to multiply by 100. So the fact that I'm multiplying by 100 and dividing by 2.54 is, I don't know exactly what that's doing, but let's see how it works. See if it seems like I'm getting reasonable numbers now. Yeah, the farthest one out there I get to is 19 inches. If I just go on forever, this is kind of interesting. Let's zoom out if I can. It's interesting to me. I don't know if it'll be so interesting for you. But what I'm going to do is this way on the left column, this is half steps above open string. I'm just going to go an infinite number of half steps. What's going to happen to that last column there? It's not really infinite. I'm just going to go way down here. Okay, when I let go and all the numbers appear, what kind of number am I going to see on the bottom right?
Not very big.
I should see something close to 0.65 meters. So 25 inches there. So what's happening is, remember, this is, if you want to go up an octave, you divide the string in half. If you want to go up another octave, you divide it in half again. All these numbers where we don't have all the decimals, those are a new octave. And if you keep dividing something in half, do you ever get down to nothing? So we'll never actually get to the end of the string. You look how these numbers get bigger. This is the first fret spacing. It's at 1.43 inches, 2.79 inches, 4.07 inches. Then they get smaller, and by the time we get to here, you'd never be able to play this. The distance between this note right here and the next, you have to put your finger on 25.590547776 inches, and then you have to move it up slightly to 25.590547795 inches. So that's if you want to play, I don't know, like 15 octaves up, which we wouldn't even be able to hear it. I don't know if bats could even hear that. So back, I got a little distracted there. Sorry. Exciting for me. Oops, now I've minimized it. I just want to do this, right? Okay, so back to the business at hand, which is just putting in these distances. Making this look really easy, I know. You're all going to just want to get out the drill and do it. So I highlight this. I look over in this window. I go to transform, copy. I'm actually going to stretch this over a little bit more. And then just click on a point here and move to the right, because I'm copying it to the right. Then I'm going to start typing, and up here at the top where it says point to copy to, you're going to see what I'm typing. I'm going to type 1.436, and I'm going to hit enter, and now if I drag, it doesn't move those yellow points. I'm going to left click, and that sets down my first copy. Now I'm going to type 2.791, hit enter, and there's my next one. I left click, and now I type in 4.07, 15, and I left click, and then I type in 5.27, enter, left click, 6.41, 929, enter, left click, 7.49529, left click, and you just keep on going. So once you're all done with this, and I guess, let's see, sometimes to get out of a function you just hit enter, and then you're done. So I didn't do all of them, I just did a few. But if you do this, and I can show you how to save this and share it with me, you'll just go up to save. Oops, I didn't mean to save over my old version. Anyway, it doesn't. I guess I didn't change the one on Google Drive. You would just send this to me, and then I could put it on the laser cutter, and I would cut out this piece of wood with all these holes in it. But the thing is, you need to make sure you have your measurements, because if your distance from your nut to your bridge is longer than somebody else's, you can't just use what they've got. There's parts of it are going to be similar, but you need to design your own based on your string length. So I've been recording all this, and